We've been told from time to time that if we study hard, we can easily find a job and earn a living. But is it the same for the disabled in Hong Kong? According to Census and Statistics Department in 2020, there were over 500,000 persons with disability in Hong Kong. That was 7.1% of the population. In that year, the disabled labor force participation rate of age 18 to 64 was only 44.3%. For the general rate of the same group, it was 73.4%. If we take a closer look, the disabled unemployment rate of age 18 to 64 was 11.1%, much higher compared to the general rate of same group at 5.9%. Frank, the person to be studied, is a disabled who suffered from myopathy. He had been finding a job for almost half a year before getting employed, even as a degree holder. Is Frank's experience related to the acceptance of society towards the disabled? According to a study by Center for Civil Society and Governance in HKU, 88% of respondents said they do not mind working with physically disabled person. However, only 48% of them agreed that the group has made up an essential part of workforce. For other type of disabilities, the result only got worse. What are the underlying reasons that the disabled cannot play a role just like a normal person does? Frank suffered from muscular dystrophy, and it is highly associated with the inequality situation for the disabled in Hong Kong. Although people are willing to cope with the situation, different stakeholders may share different point of view. Let's take a look at how different stakeholders around the community will try to solve the situation. To start with, the people who desperately need the most help are the disabled. Since the resources targeting the disabled in Hong Kong is relatively limited, they do not get enough help from the society. Even though the government and transnational NGOs providing support and services for them, they are unlikely to get decent jobs due to numerous reasons such as discrimination. Another group that needs help is their caregiver, such as family. Being the closest person to the disabled, they have more responsibilities than others. They suffer from immense pressure. Take Frank as an example. His family has been helping him out to and from the workplace. This will lead to stress for caregiver physically and mentally. So they want the situation to be changed and hope the policy issued can help to alleviate the worsening situation. However, some stakeholders may share a different view. For instance, the employers, who think altering the current situation may affect them economically. As stated in the case, Frank was rejected by companies since they will have to install facilities such as guide path across the workplace, which will incur extra costs for the company. They will be likely to discriminate against the disabled, such as rejecting their application in order to reduce the cost incurred. Another group of stakeholders that may not want to make a change is the government officials, especially those from business sector and some other high-income group people. When the government tries to alleviate the situation, they have to allocate more resources to disabled, such as setting up guide path in the government's building. As a result, they will have fewer resources allocated to other areas such as housing problems, which will affect them negatively. Moreover, if the government does not want to harm the business sector, they will have to collect more tax from the taxpayers. This in turn will severely affect their lives and income and will lead to their position to changing the situation. To sum up, there are different voices regarding the situation of disabled. The government should try to do something to help the situation, as it can definitely help them to get more opportunities to work and achieve success in daily lives. So, what has society been doing to solve this situation? Let's find out in the next part.
Facing such obstacles, two goals have been established for this case. The first one is to eradicate poverty among the disabled, and the second one is to enhance their social status. In terms of eradicating poverty among the disabled, business enterprises could provide more job opportunities to the disabled. German government states that there should be at least 5% of disabled employees for companies with more than 20 employees. Research shows that after implementing the laws, an average increase of 5% in disabled labor force participation will be assured within a year. Therefore, it is possible to set a target of increasing Hong Kong's labor force participation rate by 5% within a year by setting a minimum ratio of disabled employees within an enterprise. Penalties, such as fines, could be issued if they fail to follow the disability law in order to have a deterrent effect. What's more, the government could provide more financial support to the disabled. In Hong Kong, the current disability allowance is 3,870 Hong Kong dollars per month. When compared to other countries, such as France, the disabled can receive an allowance of up to 7,000 Hong Kong dollars per month, which is almost twice as Hong Kong. This shows that the disability allowance of Hong Kong has room for improvement. Therefore, a target of at least 5,000 Hong Kong dollars per month could be established to eradicate poverty and ease the financial burden of their family, which is the average lowest monthly consumption of Hong Kong people. Frank also faces occupational inequality, and it could be solved by raising the social status of the disabled. According to the Equal Opportunities Commission, Hong Kong's disability discrimination complaints takes up 53% of the total complaints. In addition, among the complaints, nearly 80% of them are employment-related, indicating it is prevalent to see disability discrimination, especially in the workplace. This shows that it is crucial for the government and charities to make use of their impact to influence the public, so as to eliminate occupational inequality. The target would be to minimize the discrimination complaints received to 50% less than now. This could be done through community collaboration. For charities, they could organize events for raising awareness of the needs of the disabled and their family. For example, a local charity called Direction Association for the Handicapped provided platforms for the disabled to enjoy themselves with their friends and families through events like sports day and gatherings. This could relieve the caregiver stress and increase social participation for the disabled. The community may change its perception towards the disabled as they understand more about them by joining in such events. Also, the government should raise awareness of disability laws among the public. These laws are essential to prevent the isolation of the disabled and encourage disability inclusion. Therefore, publicity through mass media is needed to spread the message among the public. Promotions such as talk shows and documentaries would deliver meaningful messages to educate the public about the difficulties confronted by the disabled and their caregivers. This could emphasize the importance of law implementation. With the implementation of disability laws, sufficient financial support from the government, and an adequate understanding of the importance of disability inclusion, it will be more possible to eradicate poverty and enhance the social status of the disabled, so as to eliminate their occupational inequality. Frank is just a piece of the puzzle. The hardship of the disabled is far beyond our imagination. It is high time for people to work together and fight against poverty and inequality for the disabled.